The Breakdown of the Chi, Season 2, Episode 4 Showdown. Kevin, Jake, and Papa are going to school. They ask Jake if he's done with the gang shit, but he shows them his new 63rd gang tattoo, and they were shocked. Brandon is still stressed about Ronnie being out of prison, and he can't focus on his cooking skills, but Jerica is there to support him. Detective Alice went to 63rd gang crib and arrest Michael, Reg's friend. Detective Alice introduced herself and told Reg that he runs the streets, that mean he knows everything that's happening around the block, and if he knows about the housebreaking he must tell her. Ronnie went to visit his grandmother, and she was happy to Ronnie. Jada shows up, and she was shocked seeing Ronnie out of prison. She tells Ronnie that he better fix himself and make his grandmother proud. Emmett forgot that left the stove on as he was speaking to his colleague. As they were talking, the stove started to burn, and Emmett tries to stop the fire, but he makes it worse. Ronnie went back to the crib, and he saw a mess and started to clean the house. Kevin, Jake, and Papa, as they were going to the locker room, his ops shows up pulling gang signs, and Jake lost it, but Kevin tells him to chill. He doesn't have to mess up the picture day. Jake tells Kevin that he doesn't care about picture day, and he's done with school. Emmett went to Tiffany to tell her that Sonny's restaurant was on fire, so he can't bring the money since the place is closed. He asks to see his son, and he was happy seeing his son. Jake's recording his gang members fighting. Reg shows up, he records Reg, and Reg smacked the phone down and calls one of the boys who were fighting and asks him how did he get beaten when he has a bigger body. They tell him that they have a job for him. Reg tells Jake that he has to go to picture day because he doesn't want any problem. Emmett went to Brandon to make a business proposal, but Brandon wasn't interested. Kevin went to Maisha and gave her her homework, and they talk about picture day. Emmett is pushing his weave business, and his father says I want to share in the money he's making since he lives in his house. Kevin's sister asks Kevin to go with her to see their father since she wants them to make peace, and Kevin says he will try. Ronnie went to Jason's mom to apologize about everything he did, and he tells her how much she means to him, and she forgave him, and they talk about how much they love Jason. Brandon went to Emmett and tells him that he has a deal for him. He has to take care of the food truck since Brandon is going to the cooking competition, and they made a deal. Papa shows up at school for picture day, and he dressed like the Notorious B.I.G., and everyone at school is impressed. He met with Kevin, and Jake shows up greeting his friends. His op bump into him, and they started arguing, but Kevin stops Jake and doesn't listen. He throws milk to him, and they started a food fight. Their teacher showed up and tells them to stop. Even it stains in the clothes except for Papa. Emmett tries to sell tacos, but people want Sonny's chicken. Brandon is in a cooking competition, and he's starting his first round, and the baby thing is he forgot his plate, and he came with a plan to make the judge to the food through the pot, and he was scared he will be eliminated. Kevin, Jake, and Papa went to photo shoot, and Maisha shows up looking good, and Kevin tries to compliment her, but she says he doesn't know what's coming for him. Emmett is selling weave in a food truck, and Brandon shows up angry, telling Emmett he can lose his license selling weave and tacos. Emmett shows him how much he made by selling weave, and he's shocked, telling him to continue selling. Ronnie took Jason's mom to see Jason's son, and she was happy that Ronnie stood by her side and brought her to her grandson. Kevin, Jake, and Papa show each other their pictures, and they laughed. Brandon surprised Jerica with the news, telling her he's been selected for the next round. Kevin's sister tells Kevin that their dad just died because of heart attack, and Kevin doesn't know how to feel since he didn't have a strong relationship with his father. Reg met with his boss, and they tell him that he messed up by choosing the wrong people to do the job. They put an old lady in the hospital instead of scaring her. They told Reg to fix the situation.